Hey guys, Andy here from Rev Limit. Now that we have the body separated from the chassis on the Scout, I'll give you a quick overview of some of the things that we have seen that we are going to address. So here we go. As we did mention before, the body mounts have seen better days. So what we'll do is we'll be drilling out the spot welds along here and any material that's needed to be replaced to do that properly. As well as somebody's put floor pans in from the top side but didn't secure the old floor pan to the new floor pan. So we're going to address that as well on this thing to get it sealed up and as structurally sound as we can. Obviously the proper way to be doing it would be to cut the floor pans out and secure it the right way, but sometimes you just have to make sacrifices. Now we're going to address some of the rust here on the back as well, as grind down the whole floor back to square one, recoat it with sound deadening and undercoating. And we're going to let him address the body issues with a professional that does body work, not us. And then, yeah, we're going to, probably weld up all the holes that were put in that are not needed any longer. And then this one as well, the other body mount that's totally gone. I know earlier I said this was fiberglass, but upon further inspection without the chassis being in here, it may look like metal screen door material. So when you're doing this kind of stuff, try to do a little bit of research and do it properly instead of that way, which causes problems down the road. Or, when people are buying stuff and you say there is no rust, well, that's the kind of stuff that you can run into. So, I'm going to address that. Again, the small fuel line, probably change that out for them. Put the bolts back in the inner fender wells. We're going to also be revitalizing the engine compartment and making it look rather pleasing. And I'll be upgrading the radiator to a nice aluminum one, although the factory ones are probably the better ones to go with, but a little bit more on the expensive side. So we're also going to be switching this rag joint out for a steel coupler instead. And then again, either relocate this because there's such a big hole cut in the firewall, weld a patch, or possibly build just a cover panel for the battery switch. Put grommets back in so you don't have outside elements getting in the inside, as well as putting either a grommet in there or welding a patch back in it. And then I'm going to go through and clean up like how the body bushing bolts were so worn out from not being tight. Try and address that to get it back to the proper shape. Probably going to put some plugs in the floor here because it had a roll bar in it, So at some point, if we want to add a roll bar back into it, then we can reuse those bolt holes instead of just welding them up and then drilling some more. When you're doing body work, try not to use the stuff that looks like that. It's not proper. Or if you are, complete all the welds and do a proper job. And again, fiberglass where fiberglass is not needed. So that's what we're going to do tonight, is get a start on the underside of this vehicle, try and get it scraped down so we can apply the undercoating. And as always, if you like the content, don't forget to click the subscribe button, leave a comment, or even leave us ideas on what you think maybe we should do instead of our ideas. Thanks again. Continue on the journey.